What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Subsistence. So we are in the depths of winter. It is January, so obviously last episode it started, this episode it's continuing. The lakes and the water is all frozen. I'm just keeping the grow plot going. I've still only got one, and I'm aware of reading some stuff actually that you're supposed to try and rush. I think it says 3 or 4. So yeah. The ice is breakable. You use your axe, not your pickaxe. It's weird. I expected the pickaxe to do a better job. But anyway, so you cut through, as you can see. Again, any tips on this to make it any easier, let me know. I'm assuming the strength potion would help. But you can use this to jump through and go into the water, though I'm not sure how I would get out again. I don't know if it's easy to climb out or not, so I'm not going to try that one quite yet. And you can also fish through there as well. Now, learn by my mistakes, and that is that all you have to do is actually go up to the hole and press E to fish in the hole. You don't need to actually cast. If you do, it just kind of misses them. So it's one of the priorities for what we're doing at the minute, and that is keeping that fire fueled, keeping that heat produced so that we don't die, of course. Again, I am poisoned, and I thank you for the comments in the chat regarding that. And yes, it is part of the game that it goes through death. So at least it's not a bug, it's fine. And actually, to be honest, I have realised now that it's not as bad as it seems. As soon as you get some sort of sustainability for the items, i.e. a fridge, you can then keep your livers, your algae, etc. in there. And then when you need one, you just make one. So, not too bad at all. The advantage to the ice is that now you can see we can just walk across this giant lake, and there is the outpost for the first hunters group that we actually had. Building up a nice little base there, and again a comment was made that you have to get the BCU cracker, which is much later on, to blow up that. Destroying the BCU will destroy the base, and in turn they will move elsewhere. Anything else is irrelevant. The only thing you can get from them is the loot from them themselves, and then if they have a chest, you will obviously get a decent amount of loot from that actually. Of course, they might have a generator that you can steal something out of, campfires, etc., that you can steal ash out of, but destroying the base is pointless and not part of the concept of what you do, so I'm not going to do that. Nice chest here. More nails, always low on nails. I feel like I'm going to go in here to try and do some damage. Not sure why. I do like playing with the hunters turned on simply because I can annoy them as much as they annoy me. Though there are times where they double team me and they come from both ends. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. So that's a bit annoying. There's somebody coming over now. Look, I wanted that chest. He's going to shoot me. I'm going to shoot him. The rifle's pretty good. Of course, he's gone in there for the shotgun and made me bleed again. Now, will it kill me? It looks like yes is the answer. Because I'm bleeding with only 3 HP. So at least if I die behind this tree, I can reset and come and get that stuff anyway. You do lose a bit, but it's not the end of the world. 1 HP and down. So after respawning, just making my way back to my items, and there's a cheeky bit of metal waiting for me, scrap metal, so I will definitely get that. And then get my bag as well. And all of the giblets that go with it. Now, I'm getting my equipment back, but I always get a free pair of the cheap trousers. But what I do is that. Right click and tear them into rags, and I get a bit of cloth out of it, so you get a bit of extra. You also get the odd extra axe as well. The glow sticks are crap, unless there's something that I'm missing. I mean, if you could at least throw them, they'd be better, but at the minute, they're just crap. Shot there that landed nicely. Does he know where I am? He does. He's just running towards me with no cover. Honestly, I feel like it's better to wait for them to stop, because if they're moving, I miss. I missed that somehow, but that one landed nicely, and that is the hunters down. Or at least I think they are. So just moved a bit closer. What I am going to do is rob their heat from this while I steal that for the fertilizer, of course. And then we'll just go and, I mean, you're not going to ignore fibre, because fibre is a lot more interesting than you think it is. I am actually starting to use that for heat instead of the wood now, because I need the wood for building. We'll get this cheeky chest outside here. And it turns out if you press E on the door, You knock. I'm assuming that's a multiplayer thing because I've been knocking to the enemies quite a bit and nobody ever answers the door. I mean, they probably know I'm stood there with a shotgun, so I don't blame them for not answering the door. But yeah, you're not going to get through that door with just these guns. It don't work. What I have established is that there are grenades that work quite well. But no matter what I do, they don't want to come out. They don't come out until you break through, and knocking seems to do nothing. So, for now, whoever's hiding in there, if anyone is hiding in there, they're safe. For now. So, random bird of prey, eagle-looking thing flying around the frozen ice. I do know now, though, these are actually... they do fish, and they get the fish and fly off with the fish. Whether you can shoot them out of the sky and steal the fish and then some feathers from the bird, I don't know, because I have tried, but I always miss. As I'm wasting bullets and arrows now, missing. But when the lake's not frozen, they actually do go fishing. When it's frozen, they just seem really confused. Outside, it's getting really, really cold. My equipment allows me to drop to about -1.2, but I do have the odd heat pack. Finally got there now using the rotten food. And then you can see I'm trying to survive with these 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐎𝐘s, but they don't really give me what I need. They don't last long enough to allow me to actually use for the poison. So what I'm likely going to do is just hold off until I can make a fridge or something, I think. So with the heat pack activated, and even though it's -6 outside in the depths of the blizzard and the winter storm, we're going for it. Because what is this game if we're not constantly looking for free resources in crates, nodes to mine, or fibres and medicinal plants to pick. There is, of course, chopping wood, but to be honest, that I do in like a session of one at a time. I don't just randomly chop trees. I ignore the trees or do so the trees I do it all together, and then everything else I do together. It's just 2 separate tasks. It is always risky running around like this because you're going to bump into somebody at some point, right? It's the sensors. Hopefully they will give themselves away by shooting and missing, but they don't always. Sometimes they shoot and hit you, and yeah, it's too little too late. A lot of the time as well, I find that when I leave and start to, like, I've psyched myself up to do a specific type of thing. Oh, there's a camp there, and there are hunters. So let's just crouch down, get as low as possible. I'm trying for headshots. Somehow that missed. So did that. So did that, I think. I'm not the greatest shot with this, it seems. I seem to miss a lot. I think it's because I'm rushing the shot as opposed to taking my time like I'm supposed to. Obviously, I am bleeding. I have a bandage. That's one down using the handgun. And there we go. I can stop the bleeding as long as I don't let this guy... Wow, that went right at the side of my head. He's going to pop out one somewhere. I mean, this is the perfect time for using a shotgun, but I ain't got no ammo, so there we go. And he didn't bleed, so we're good. Loot him, bit of ore there, nicely done. And what have we got? A bit more ore, nicely done. Turns out the ore actually gets quite, for later on, I've realising now that it's actually quite useful for making the ammo, gunpowder, things like that, so I am making sure to collect everything possible. But we won that fight. We did use ammo and didn't gain any back per se, but I think this is part of the tribulations of survival, right? So we can go to where the actual campfire is and not only steal the heat from it, though we don't need it because we're heat packed, but just make sure that any food or ash we'll steal, because what isn't theirs anymore is ours. Okay, so reset at base and out we come again. But now being attacked by that other side, as you can see. It's easier for them now because the lake is frozen. They normally swim across and it takes them forever, but now they can run across. So I'll get cover as soon as I can. Trees seem to work, but not all the time. It depends. I do feel that they don't work as well as they're supposed to, but it is what it is. So here, there is always 2 of them. There always seems to be anyway, or 3 in some cases. I mean, a shotgun's going to end me pretty quick. There we go. Dead as dicks. A handgun versus just shotgun at close range. I mean, I didn't expect anything else, really. Luckily, I am remembering to top my spawns up on the bed, so I can always come back here. And then we're pretty close to where we died, so I can go and get that stuff back. Remember, though, that that guy has not given up just yet. So as I've not got my gear, there's not much I can do. I'm going to hide, but that means they are going to attack my base. Now, they always seem to have the right equipment, which is cheeky, but it's fine. So I'm just going to make a run for it on the hope that if I stay long enough away, they'll be using bows, and that means that they will be very inaccurate against a moving target. Get my goods back round the tree and rinse and repeat as previous. I'm already bleeding, low health, but at least I've got a gun now. Now, one thing I am noticing, and it happens quite a lot for those of you that have played this a lot more than me, please help me out, it is that when I'm under attack, they do randomly stop, even if I'm losing, and they run away. And that's a rinse and repeat of a shotgun. A little bit embarrassing, but you know, I mean, I did say I was a noob, right? Exactly the same as before. I ran out balls deep, got my stuff, and then ran off, and now I can't see what I'm actually supposed to be shooting at. So if I can get to the safety of hiding, or see, moving targets are really hard to hit, but it looks like he's going to do what I was talking about now. So is he just running home? This is my point. They just decide to run home and stop, even though they were winning. I mean, look at my health, I'm bleeding, I'm going to die soon. Now, is it just some sort of, after a certain amount of time, they give up? Or is it that they actually do have an ammo count? I mean, I should have let him go and I wouldn't have died again, but no, because that's not how I roll. So there we go, rinse and repeat, got my stuff back, and he has actually left and he's leaving now, and I'm not going to chase him down. So yeah, is it a case of that they run out of ammo and stop? Is it a time thing? Is it if you die they actually reset? Because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I don't know. Any mechanics around that would help me understand a bit better, but sometimes I think it's the end of my entire base and then they just disappear. Other times they just seem to attack for absolutely ages. So I'm not entirely sure what the mechanics are around that, so any advice would be appreciated. So just having a check out here, make sure nobody's going to come and attack me. And actually, the next thing I want to try and build once we've got the power and mass is the crafting table. Now, I am not sure if there's a specific order. Again, this is not a tutorial. I'm not sure if this is a specific order, but I'm kind of doing it in my own kind of way, though recently I've decided to build a lot more of the grow pots. But finally, the workbench, not crafting table, can be purchased. At the point of doing this, I didn't actually know exactly what it was going to give me, so it was a gamble and a guess at the same time. But effectively, I'm going to need all of these things right to figure out what I need to do. So I am going to put that probably upstairs. Yeah, there. That'll do. So we'll get that down, and opening it up allows us to make ammo casings, the gunpowder, nails, metal ingots, glass, pans, and then you've got the cooking stuff, so jam jar, pan, bread pan, etc. And a couple of OP high-level weapons that are quite a long way away in terms of resources for us at the minute. But the top right-hand corner, that metal panel-looking thing, that is what I need to upgrade my walls from wood to metal, and to be honest, that is a priority that I'm going to put as quite far up the front, because I'm getting attacked quite a lot from at least 2, if not 3 camps on a regular basis. I'm wasting a lot of time and nails and wood repairing it, so if I could turn it into metal sometime, that would be great. Then of course this is where you upgrade your weapons, though the resources required are a little bit out of my price range for now. The only thing I've got ample of is the electronic components, but you still need a load of power and mass for doing that as well, so I really need to get a better infrastructure for the power. Hopefully the turbines, the wind turbines or solar panels or something like that coming up will be nice. But for now I'm going to probably have to make do with more generators. I've got 1, maybe I should get 2 or 3. You can make 1 do ×2, but it uses 3 times the fuel. I would rather get 2 and run twice the fuel. Because although fuel isn't too bad to get from the fats and from the medicinal plants, I do feel like I'm going to run out if I'm not careful, so I want to make sure that everything I've got is valid and usable. So back at it. while it's safe and quiet and daylight, -3 out, so it is a bit too cold for us to be out really, but I need some protein. So we'll smash a hole in here and try and fish, and as I said, all you need to do with the fishing rod is press E. I think it's E. Let's try. Yeah, E to start fishing, and there you go. And you just wait here now for exactly the same process as when you're normally fishing, for it to bob down, left click to hook, and then right click to reel it in, should you be lucky enough to catch anything. After quite a few minutes, I realised I wasn't going to. So, picked up the tackle and continued to do something more productive for now. Chasing down a chicken's more reliable than fishing, it seems. Although they are quick little buggers, but you get there in the end because they get very confused. I do have a lot of grubs actually, so to get that protein up, there we go. And that's what I did. Just eat a few of the grubs, the tree grubs, because that is 20 fishing baits, but if they're not biting, I'll just eat the grubs and get that protein up. At least it helps keep my health up and my stamina recharging, and then I'm not getting any debuffs for starving to death as well. One thing I've noticed as well is the trees that lose the leaves, these spindly ones that are up ahead there in the winter, so that they give 4 wood per. Each one of them gives you 4 wood. The evergreens that have the leaves still on, they still give you 3. And then obviously you've got the grub tree that gives you 5. But these give you 4. So I find that I spend my time harvesting these as opposed to the evergreens. And there you go, 4 wood from that tree. And there's a few of them. There is quite a lot altogether. So what I do is that it's a bit to the sort of right hand side of my base. So I just basically go over to that area and farm all of those. I still need to try out the strength potion to see how much better that is, but I imagine it's going to make it quite a bit quicker. Whether it uses less shots or gives you more, I'll say that that wolf got wrecked, as per always with a shotgun. Nicely done. Bit of fat there for biofuel as well. Already harvested that tree, but yeah, these ones with the spindly ends, they are the ones that are 4 wood per, and then the evergreen pines are 3 wood per. And as a note, just if you've not realised, it is still February, but it's still coldish, but the frosts and ice have gone. The lakes have cleared back up to normal. We're still getting the winter berries and the winter crops, but the snow has cleared up as well. So -1 at the minute, and it will still drop down to sort of -2 or 3 at night, probably -5. But it's certainly getting better, and winter is looking like it's over. And I'm hoping that that means that we get a few months now of calm, though in summer I'm guessing I'm going to be too hot. So the crops seem to be doing well, and the next milestone for me, once we have enough power and mass, is the animal house, and we do, so let's get that built. These are, again, the first time for me. Turns out it only holds 1 animal, whether it be a chicken or a rabbit. You have to upgrade them to take more. I think the maximum is up to 3. And they get the animals up to level 3, which gives you the premium resources, feathers, etc. furs. To get them from level 3 and higher up to the maximum of the game, which is level 10. That was me figuring out a way to put it. You have to upgrade it to, I think it's called free range or free roam, whatever it's called. So we'll get that done. I'm looking to extend this. I don't realise I want to put it on a foundation, but you can't. It has to go on the floor. And then you just put a chicken in there or a rabbit, like I say. For me, chickens are easier because they're easier to catch. Plenty of wooden nails, so let's go around and patch up some of the house best I can. Each hit it uses 1 nail and 1 wood, and that repairs it by what is that, about 80 to 100 hit points, give or take. Again, you can hold R to upgrade it to metal, and when it is metal it uses nails still, but it uses planks of wood instead of wood itself. We'll just try and get as much as this repaired as possible so that stuff don't fall down. My main worry here is that if my chests get destroyed, I lose all my resources. I'm not sure how that works. Of course, the BCU is the end game thing, but I don't think it matters for us so much as it does the AI hunters. But the BCU's got 15,000 hit points, so I'm not worried about that taking too much damage. And then, of course, with all of this wood we collected, I'll get myself a bit of a backlog of planks. Now I've repaired everything. It's still dark outside, so there's not really many places we can go. But we do need to get our animal thing down as soon as possible, and then actually get something to go in it, and then we'll need to provide food and water as well. Bit of night fishing to fan off the episode. That's a little tiddler there, look, caught. Not really much use. That's going to be fish oil only, or if I cook it whole, I can get some protein out of it. But it's not usually worth it. But we are at time for this episode, so I'm going to end it here. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Take care. Goodbye.